Hey, what is going on, guys? XD here, back again with another video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about how to count bars. I know I've been doing a lot of videos showing you guys how to produce and also how to arrange your tracks. And I know I've been speaking about bars a lot, so it only hit me now that I've never really officially helped some of you guys in understanding how it is to count bars. I know some of you might know this, but some of you might not know this. So this is my official how to count bars video. So I'm going to try and go as much as I can with counting bars, and also why it's good to know, how to count bars, because a lot of people and even artists that I, get sometimes here, they don't know how to count bars and they just tell me time codes like, in 30 seconds, that's when my chorus starts, or in 1 minute, that's when my verse begins, or whatever. But now as a producer, you need to know how to count bars because we don't work with time. So if I'm telling you that, okay, at this certain time, you can now, play your snare, or you can add your hats, or you can add this instrument, it's going to be really hard to see that in the arrangement area here in FL Studio, or no matter what DAW you're using, because this also applies to any DAW, no matter what DAW you're actually using. So, firstly, a bar is basically 4 beats, right? So if I load 4 kicks here like this is basically a bar. It's basically 4 kicks, but it's not just any random 4 kicks, because I can add 4 kicks like this, right? So usually we use the metronome. So if I put on the metronome, my tempo is at 120 and I play like this, 1 2 3 4. You see that's a bar. But if I change my metronome, I think to a cowbell, you can hear that the first cowbell has a higher pitch than the rest. I think if you go into other DAWs as well, they have the first note is high pitched and the other ones aren't. They are marking that that's your first note, that's your first beat. So the loop of beats, like in FL Studio, you only find here on the channel rack by default, you have this amount of a grid that is on here. So the colors that you see here, because they have this brownish color and a gray color, so it's actually telling you that this is 1, that's 2, that's 3, that's 4. So in electronic music, usually hip hop, house music, EDM, we use a 4x4 time code, which is like 4 beats making a bar. So this 1 2 3 4, that is a bar. Then we restart again. So that's a loop. So that's basically how you can count bars. And if you come over here, if I add in that same 1 bar loop that I just made with just the kick, like that, you see it's from 1 to 2. So now this is where 2 begins. So usually I tell you guys to add up until 4 bars, which is here close to 5, because this is where you can build your main progression of your track. Usually when you're making a progression of keys, the progression is complete when it's like the length is 4 bars. So let me make a quick progression here and show you. I'm just going to play something random that's just to prove this point. There we go. So something like that. Then it starts again. I'm just going to quantize it and drop it here. So as you can see, I actually played this this progression from 1 up until 4. So this is 4. So for every bar, there is a chord inside, as you can see here. So this is the length of a good chord progression when you're making music, no matter what type of style you're making, even if it's hip hop, even if it's pop music, EDM, whatever. The loop of a proper chord progression is 4 bars. So that's why I always often tell you guys to compose your progression and compose the bit of your music in that 4 bars, but knowing what actually a bar is. So whenever you're arranging, you need to know how many bars you're arranging at, and the intervals that you're going to be introducing your instruments in. Like usually I always say that, you can introduce your instruments within 16 bars, because in hip hop we know that 16 bars is the length of a verse. So let me just make this simple in terms of arrangement, how you can use bars to help you with your arrangement. So right now, let's say you made this 4 bars and you're trying to arrange, right? All you just have to do is now duplicate this to 17, which is here. I almost pointed with my finger. Such a habit. So I'm going to duplicate that. Control B duplicates when you have something selected and have it highlighted red like this. So now I have 17. So now I know that if it plays from here to 17, I want to add something else when it strikes 17. Then I can just duplicate this, or maybe let me put a transition before this and maybe just delete that kick, so that when it gets to that point, then it comes back in again. So what I can do is maybe you can add this roll when it comes back. So then I'll just come here and duplicate it again, and then now I have another 16 bars again. Then I'll come back again, duplicate the same 16 bars again, and as you can see, we're already a minute and a half. So you keep planning to introduce your sounds and your variations in this intervals of 16 bars, but it's up to you. It's not a rule set in stone. You can always change this. You can make it to 24 or whatever you want to take it to, but it has to be something within the 4x4 rule that we have. So a basic blueprint of a hip-hop track, the arrangement using this time code is usually like moving with the 4-bar rule. Is the first 4 bar can be your intro, like this this intro over here, where it's just the keys that start in the beginning. You can also do this in house music if you want to, but it depends if you're going to have vocals or not. But in the case of vocals, so now I'm going to add this. So now your first chorus, if your song is starting with your chorus, is going to be 8 bars. So we all know that a chorus is 4 bars, which is this duration over here. And then the chorus is repeated a second time, which makes it 8 bars. So then I can just duplicate that. Then from here to there, that's the chorus. But now when we get to the verse has to be 16 bars, which means we duplicate this 2 times, 1, 2, and that's our verse. So I'm just gonna put a crash when the verse starts, so that you can see when it's starting. That's over here. Oh wait, nope, over here. Okay, there we go. Then that's where the verse is gonna start, and then after the verse, we know that it's gonna be our chorus again. So bring our chorus back. Let me just lower these so that there's kind of a difference. There we go. So that's the basic structure of a track, and then to fill up the whole track, we just duplicate that again. Then now we know that this is our first chorus. That's our first verse. Second chorus, second verse, and then third chorus, and then we can put our outro or our end the end of the song. So depending with the length of your song, it also depends with how many bars you want to add on. So even right here in the beginning, I can add another bar of the piano, and then there we go. So that's a basic structure. So some songs do have pre-choruses that you can add, like maybe a pre-chorus before the chorus comes in or whatever. So when it comes to house music, it depends with what you want to do. So you don't have to follow these rules of bars, but I was just trying to help you guys understand exactly how bars work, and as a producer, how you need to understand how bars work, because it also helps you even when you're DJing. Because when you're DJing, you don't have something that's counting bars for you. You don't have these numbers that tell you that this is 1, 2, 3, and 4, but all you just have is the music that you're listening to and a certain time. So you cannot use that time in a track to know when to cue the next song, but you can count beats in your head. So all you just have to do is when the song is playing, you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, cue, play. You see, and then boom, then you start playing. You start playing your song, then you have a good transition. So that's just a basic tip on also DJing. So knowing how to count bars, guys, if you didn't know, it's really an advantage, and it will help you arrange your tracks much easier, and it will even help you also work with other artists as well and producers much easier, because you can talk about counting music the right way in bars. So if you have any more questions about this, I might have left something out, or you want to add something, you can put it down there in the comments. I know this is going to help a lot of you guys, and that's what I want to do here on the channel. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. I know it's a different video from the ones I usually do, but I feel like this is necessary so that you guys don't miss out on important things like this. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this really helps you. If you're new here, remember to subscribe down below and click on the bell icon so you don't miss out on my future uploads. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm X and I'm out. Peace.